Woohoo! Back to stream. Back to stream again. Woohoo! So, all I'm doing is just working on some drawings that I haven't quite finished yet. So, I have 7 of these, though I'm not sure which one of these I'm gonna work on or if I'm going to need it. I'm not sure which of these I'm going to finish. I might finish like one or two. This one's probably the oldest one, but I've worked. I can give you a little bit of backstory on these depending on what I decide to do, but I haven't really. I really haven't like figured it out. I might. What do you think? What do you think I should? Which one do you think I should start with? Whoever is in the chat. Also, hey Cindy. I'll just. Yeah, I'll just keep. Uh, no. I kind of want to work on this one. So it's all thing. First, we need to make sure that we know what lighting direction we're working. Phone, I don't care. Ask for any for your distractions. Alright, this is gonna be a little bit awkward, truthfully, because Mike is in a pretty awkward position, but I'll try to go ahead and do it. Ah, this just trying something real quick. Ah, my camera's working fine. My camera's working fine. I just want to zoom it out a little bit. So me just like me just, you know what? An angle like this might just work. I can just sort of push my mic a little bit further back. There we go. Alrighty. Do I sound good? Hopefully I sound good because I'm about to in a little bit. Start doing some of this. Oh, you're doing digital art too? Good. It's really good. Figuring out lighting direction. Look, so I'm thinking I want the shading for the hair. Yeah, I already set it a little bit right here. So. Our lighting direction. Got a couple of viewers, so welcome to everybody. Alright, so now that we figured out lighting direction. So, for anyone just coming in, hi, I'm XCH. I'm just working on some drawings that I have not finished. So I have a couple of drawings. I have like 7 or 8 up here that I'm planning to work on, and then this just happens to be the one I did. So, if any of you have seen my Instagram recently, you'll probably got any advice for art. Best advice I can give anyone for art. This is gonna sound super generic, but it's just to use references. Honestly, trace stuff if you really feel that'll help you, because tracing stuff while you're doing that, you'll start to understand, like, all right, why did the artist, let's say, why did the artist shade in over here, or why did they draw a line here? It just, when you're tracing the art and trying to understand what the artist's intentions are, it'll help you with your own art. Like, it'll help you create stronger lines. It'll help your art feel more intentional. And it'll also help you develop a certain style if that's the one you're looking for. Personally, I've been drawing since 6th grade. I've been drawing for a long time. I'm 24 now, for reference. 6th grade, I would have been 12, something like that. If the light's coming from that way, then shading would be all here. I think the shading is far too dark. Definitely going soft light out. So this isn't supposed to be any sort of like fast-paced kind of stream where, I'm having like huge reactions to stuff like the Fortnite stream was earlier. This is just sort of to chillax, just kind of watch the process as it happens. Things like that, just have a little chat. Nothing too major. I've been actually wanting to do a drawing stream for a while, but truthfully, last year wasn't a great year for me in terms of just working and sort of having the energy to do a whole lot of stuff, especially when it comes to YouTube. I did try, I released Ruby's Return and all that, but I think this year I want to put more effort than I did last year into YouTube. Much more. I've already streamed 3 times this year in January. That's more than what I streamed in the entirety of 2025. I streamed once, and I think that was for my birthday, and I don't even remember what it was I streamed. I think it was Generations? I think it might have been. Yeah, yeah. I went Ghost for sure. I definitely went Ghost. Oh, and another tip for drawing, this would go for literally anybody. Use a stabilizer. Use the smoothing. Because the smoothing really helps your line work not look super shaky. So I can just give you a super quick example here. So without smoothing, I've been drawing for a while, so I can make pretty good lines, but especially if you're going like slow, your line's gonna look super shaky. But when you turn on the smoothing, let's just say we turn on 33%, draw a slow line, it's noticeably smoother. Like, that's the entire point of it. I usually use it for I use it more for line work, more so than shading, but I do sometimes also use the stabilizer. And so, you know what? I agree. Like, oh, that's another thing. Yeah, the camera's down here. So that's another thing, actually. I actually bought. If you can see it, let's see if you can see it. So I actually bought this Elgato. This is the Elgato 4KS. It's a capture card. I bought it a couple months ago for a job listing that essentially was to record games. It didn't go through, unfortunately, but I decided to keep capture card anyways. I actually don't have my Switch 2 up here. Good. Oh, here it is. So I actually have my Switch 2 right here, and I usually keep it right beside me in a little dock. I usually have playing a wonderful lot of information. Thank you very much. I've never considered myself very good at explaining things, but I do try. That's why I never became a too sucked at explaining things. Lighting directions up here. Since this is pointing down, that's still going to be shaded, so we're gonna largely. Oops. Not, might be like pretty heavily shaded down here. And if anything, so this is something I've also started doing, is sort of blurring farther away shading while leaving like the closer edge stuff super hard, because it's kind of something that emulates real life a little bit. Like the closer shadows are harsher than the farther away ones. Like a lot about art is just imitating real life. You know, I think that's a quote. I don't know. Like I barely go on social media that isn't YouTube. I was looking to see if anybody else. So what kind of art do you do, Cindy, if you're still in the chat? Something I've also been starting to do is building strands of hair into any hair that I'm shading. I've been doing it particularly with like Sonic characters, since they're fucking full fur. There. Since it's pointing down, the other layers of hair will be covering it, so it's there. One thing that kind of sucks about these streams sometimes is that I can't really play music. Because if I play music, I'll get copyright. I'll get hit with copyright. I know it's copyright free music, but there's certain kinds of music that I like and stuff like that. I do it up because I dialed the shit out of my settings. So if I'm like far away. I'm talking, you can like that's what I've been trying to dial in my settings. Okay, we got one viewer. Hello there, whoever you are. Shit, if anything, I'll just think about it. Oh, wait, two? Alright, sweet. Now I think about it, if anything, I I should play music through through a set of earbuds. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. This isn't gonna take me long. I'm just gonna grab my earbuds. Okay. And I have returned. All I did was go to grab earbuds so I could have something to listen to in my ear. That's all. Ooh. All right. So for anyone that's just joined the stream, hello. How's it going? Hope your night's going well. I'm just working on some of these drawings. I'm not doing anything like super fancy, just working on some drawings. Just figured if anyone's in the chat, just have a little conversation, see how everybody's night's going, things like that. How's your 2026 going so far? Actually, what's your New Year's resolution? And have you been making any steps towards making it happen? You don't have to have any New Year's resolutions. Like, I'm not. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, sweet. My New Year's resolution is to take YouTube more seriously and maybe reach 10,000 subscribers or something like that this year. And I think I very much am helping to make that happen by being here. Been trying to stream more consistently. And honestly, I'm super happy with what I've been doing. I have a whole lot of plans in place. I actually found my journal. I've been trying to write in it because I'm hoping it'll help me maintain consistency. Oh, you don't have one? Hey, what's good, RJ? Glad to see you back. But yeah, my New Year's resolution is simply to do a better job at this YouTube thing this year. That's the plan. I'm already doing better than last year. You know what? Let me pull this up real quick. This is actually kind of hilarious. Give me a moment. I just want to make sure I'm showing this to you because I think this is kind of funny, so. Alrighty. So, just take a look So these are my live streams. So I streamed 3 times in 2025 in general. So 1, 2, and 3. And it's January. Halfway through January 2026, and I'm already at 1, 2, and 3. And my plan is to get back to where I used to be. You know, like 4 years ago, stream. God damn, I streamed a lot. Yeah, but I'm trying to get back to this kind of point. You know, maybe streaming every weekend or something like that. And I've also got videos planned and stuff like that too. I'm actually working on a new channel that's dedicated to just like, hey, this is the kind of stuff that goes into creating the videos that you're seeing. So it's you can call it an XTH Create channel. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong, but at best the logo remaker. How's it going? Speaking of logo remaking, man, I haven't done that in so long. Maybe it's something I'll get into again someday, but like the guys that do the logo remakes now, man, I couldn't. I don't think I couldn't get near to the quality they do. Like Anthony Larank, TV Percival, those kind of guys, they're so damn good at what they do. All I hope is for 2026, relatively chill. I started out 2025 odd. Lost my Discord account for a few days, got it back, but still. Yo, you know what? Oh, there was somebody that I talked to sometimes, named 1989 Worms 1. Late last year, his Discord account actually got hacked. And the account started, texting me, hey, I accidentally, reported you and shit. I didn't really think anything of it. They're so persistent that I went to the account that they told me to go to, and they almost got me. They almost did. But then they're like, hey, what's your username and password so you can verify? And I'm like, yeah, no. Discord very specifically says they won't ask for your account or password. Like, I wasn't going to give it to him either way it went, but I just solidified it. Oh, I didn't even see this comment. My evening has been peachy. That is really good. Mine's had its ups and downs, Fortnite was, was starting to annoy me after a while. So, by the way, I have 7 or so of these drawings. After I finish this one, I'm gonna show the drawings I have left and let anyone who's still with me pick the drawing I work on next. And I'll give backstory on the drawings when I can. Yeah, we definitely did have a rough time on Fortnite. That's for that's for sure. I've heard from 2 people in the chat. Anyone else in the chat? What was your New Year resolution? Whoever else is in the chat. And also, how you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm kind of debating on whether I actually want to keep all the fringe shading. Because it does make it look more like hair. Oh, I keep looking up this way. I keep looking up this way because this is where my camera usually is. I keep forgetting it's down here. So if anything, I should probably shade in like this entire half of the face, because if the lighting direction is here, it doesn't make sense for there to be like a whole bunch of like there's some places they're gonna have like her cheek, like places where the fat on her face is gonna rise. So there still are gonna be places that aren't shaded in, but most of her face on this side I'm thinking is probably gonna be shaded in. Probably gonna go something like go, because humans do have bumps on lips do puff out a little bit, so gotta make sure you add in that bump. Other news, my latest replay only solidifies my opinion on Bowser's Inside Story. Oh, you know what? Wasn't Bowser's Inside Story the 3DS remake that actually that sank Alpha Dream? I think that's the name of the Mario and Luigi developers. Wasn't that the one that sunk them? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I really don't understand why they would do that either, because no, it wasn't Paper Jam. It was one of the remakes, because I think it was Bowser's Inside Story, because they released it in 2018 after the Switch already came out, and the 3DS, like, nobody gave a shit about 3DS. I remember that one pretty well. I remember, like, there are articles coming out about it that the Alpha Dream was going out of business because I think it was Bowser's Inside Story. It was Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. That was it. That game wasn't selling very well, and it was kind of tanking the shit out of Alpha Dream, so they had to file for bankruptcy or something. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, Bowser's Inside Story, like, why would that one need a remake? I understood why, oh, which one was it? Was it Superstar Saga? No, it wasn't Superstar Saga. The other one that they did escapes me on 3DS. It might have been Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. I think that's it. That one I understand why they want to do a remake, because you can't play Superstar Saga on 3DS, but Bowser's Inside Story you can, because it's a DS game and every 3DS is backwards compatible. Thank you for fact checking me. But that shit has always been playable on 3DS. And people really liked that game as it was. So what point was there really in remaking a game that, yeah, didn't need to be remade? So truth be told, you know, I feel bad for you, but at the same time, what did you expect? You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So in other news, has anyone played Sonic Racing Crossworlds? I was actually thinking about streaming it because I have the Switch 2 version, and I just bought the SpongeBob and what was the other one? Mega Man DLCs for it. Mega Man? I think it was Mega Man. Maybe that's when it's not out yet. I don't know. There was two of them that I bought. Oh, it was SpongeBob and it was something else. But it wasn't the Minecraft one because I really don't care about Minecraft. Played the online test. Getting a Switch too soon. Make it. Fair enough. Oh shit. Even though I enjoyed the lore and character development, Bowser Jr. I haven't played them. I haven't played any of the Mario and Luigi games to be honest with you. The only Mario RPG game I played was Super Paper Mario on the Wii. And I didn't get super far in that, and I was like, but yeah, I do remember that situation about Alpha Dream getting Alpha Dream getting. Alright, so you haven't played it yet, but the interactions had you dying like, you know what? Me too. Like there was this one between Big and Shadow. I think it was Big just like asking Shadow if he wanted to fish, and Shadow just went. And I thought it was funny as shit. Like, god damn. You could have sugarcoated it a little bit, Shadow. God damn. Fucking rude. I know exactly which one you're talking about. And honestly, that's one of my favorite ones. That's hilarious to me. I know I know how to handle the curves like an expert. I'm like, weird shit. Everybody just I just find it great though how everybody's just so polite to Cream no matter who they are. Like even Shadow was super polite to her. I find that so charming. And it reminds me a lot of the IDW comics actually, because a lot of the guys in there were like that too. Crazy how no one mentioned. Oh, you talking about when? No, honestly, the interaction I think of with Charmy is when he had with Blaze, where he was trying to fucking set himself on fire and shit. Like that one, I thought was wild. Like that one, I was like, fuck, this kid's suicidal. My favorite interactions with the crossword are the ones where, yeah, yeah, you know, the people who are afraid of Big because they think he's strong as shit. Yeah, those are funny too. I like those too. Those and all of Omegas, especially the ones where he roasts Vector and threatens Eggman. Yeah, yo, Vector just like Vector's always on shit. Like, I'm glad that he's back to being that though. Like, I'm glad that Vector's actually a damn character again. For so long, like for so long, Vector wasn't used for not Vector. Omega wasn't used for anything. Poor guy. Like, there's so much you could do with him, but they never did. trying to make sure I can see if anyone says anything else, because for some reason Streamlabs isn't giving me the little ding that it's supposed to. Also, the ones where Rouge and Sage question big on how he keeps showing up. That is like, that's very understandable. Cause like, that's a good question. How the fuck does Big keep showing up places? Like, there's no way for him to know anything of what's going on, but yet there he fucking is, just going fishing. Like, changing my song. Actually putting on Royal Canyon Act 1. Kinda hard to see, but yeah, I put on Royal Canyon Act 1 from Sonic and Shadow Generation. Oh, you know what? For those of you that have listened to that one and the Heroes original, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Rail Canyon from Heroes in terms of the song, or do you prefer the Sonic and Shadow Generations Act 1? Because personally, I much prefer Rail Canyon Act 1 from Shadow Generations. Alright, so that's the way we're looking now. I'm honestly kind of thinking about changing lighting direction to make it like more. Because I think I would like more of her face to be. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I actually might change my mind on that one. Patience. Speaking of Sonic X Shadow Generation, it's also the rewritten lines. I mean, there really aren't much of anything special, really, between Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations. I don't really think it's anything super substantial, but I really don't mind them. I don't really think they're offensive or anything like that. If anything, I think it makes a lot of sense for example, Sonic to mention the time stones when talking about time travel, because besides 06, which is a race from a timeline, there's been no other mention of time travel except when the time stones are being used. So if anything, I think it makes sense. Why hasn't he mentioned it at any point before then? Because no other Sonic game has been about time travel after 06 and before Generations. At least none that I can think of off the top of my head. I might be wrong, but I can't think of any. Unless they're one of the spin-off games was, but you know, that wouldn't count the Sonic Team anyways. They only care about the shit that they make. No. Definitely gonna add like a second layer of shading though, to get like sort of an ambient occlusion effect. You know, where one like line needs another and stuff like that. I'm never gonna do that. D, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think Sonic CD is straight up the worst of the classic lineup. And that includes the first game. I don't know, man. Like, if you don't care about exploring and you just want to make it to the end, Sonic CD's level design is super fucking boring and easy. Like, to the point where it's just not fun to play. I played that on my, I forgot which phone I had. I think it was like my Xiaomi phone or whatever. But I played that a while back, and I don't know, man. I got to the start of Speedway Battle, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Hey, I think it's just kind of a different strokes for different folks kind of thing. You hear about the beta build of Sonic for Episode 2 that had a teaser for the cancel. I know that at the end of Sonic for Episode 2 they had like a little like Metal Sonic teaser. But no, I don't. Wait, no, I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, where it just had like the small image of Metal Sonic that just had to be continued or whatever. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else? Honestly, I might just use a picture of like metal to get these guns. Look of the metal. I don't know if this is gonna look right. What do you mean crazy? I don't know, personally. I find that like while Sonic 1 has little lows in CD, I find like a good half of its stages more fun to play. Not that one? Oh. I have to look that up then. Speaking of Sonic, shit, I might as well just ask, what's everybody's favorite Sonic game? And why? Like, what about it? What about it makes it your favorite? Come on, the show. Come on, get yourself together. This time. Oh, spring. Spell it out. It's one. Life is short. Is one. Is one. Compromise. There was a teaser. There's a teaser with the silhouette of Knuckles and a Master Emerald in the Death Egg Mark 2. The lights of the Death Egg Mark up and then multiple line cut to multiplied and cut to. Honestly, I wish Sonic for Episode 3 happened. Like, even if it was just like as mid as fuck as episodes 1 and 2 were, at least finish the damn story, right? Honestly, that's how I feel about it. It was leaked back in August, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I definitely didn't hear about that one. I didn't hear about that one. Sonic Rush. Soundtrack goes unbelievably hard. I don't disagree. I honestly think Sonic Rush Adventure soundtrack. Leave that hot take right there. So, I don't really draw like fingertips, but I just wanted to try something a little bit different and kind of imply fingertips with the shading here. That's all I'm doing. Anyways, my favorite Sonic game is Heroes. It was one of the first Sonic games I played. Love the music and I like switching between teams. I think that's very fair. For Heroes is a game that's kind of grown on me a little bit. Like, I wouldn't say that I think it's great, but I think it's better than something like, for example, Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors I thought was just honestly boring as shit, and Heroes is definitely not a game I call boring. Frustrating at times, oh hell yeah, but I wouldn't ever call Heroes boring. And I do like switching between the teams too. It's just that Heroes, the brand of jank that Heroes has, to me is super fucking unattractive. Like, it's the kind of jank that really pisses me off when I play and I get fucking subjected to it. I absolutely cannot stand it. That's really the thing that holds Heroes back from me liking it. But I don't think it's bad. I just think the jank is really fucking irritating. Sonic Rush and Rush Adventure are in desperate need. Both are trapped on the DS and not as accessible. I do agree with you. But for me, I don't have that problem. Sorry. I absolutely had to flex the Galaxy 3DS. Shit looks. But I do honestly agree with you though. Rush and Rush Adventure are games that desperately need to be remastered. Honestly, I would argue that all of the games in the 2000s desperately need to be remastered. Except Sonic Unleashed. Not that it shouldn't be, but considering we have the recompilation now and that Sonic Unleashed runs at 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X and S, I think it's in less of a need than the other ones. But Sonic Heroes, Adventure 2, 06, I think those do. Because yeah, you can play SA1 and 2 on Steam, but those are old-ass ports. Not only are they old-ass ports, but if my memory serves, you can't actually play it on PS4 anymore. I think you used to with PlayStation Now. Unless you still can. You actually might be able to, but even then, I don't really know if I would count that, to be honest. Because it's just emulating the PS3. And as for Xbox, I think you can on Xbox One. Yeah, I know you can play SA1 and 2 on Xbox One, but I don't know if you can play it on the series. Probably can. Oh. But Heroes is the one that I would say really is. Especially if they go in and tighten up the controls and stuff like that. But the problem with doing that is that Heroes runs on a very old engine that went defunct years ago called Renderware. So the best that Sega could realistically give us is a remake instead of a remaster. Now, whether you would want that remake to be as close to the original as possible, or if you'd want to see if Sonic Team could improve some things, that's on you. That's up to your opinion. Personally, I wouldn't want to see anything drastically different, but I would like to see a remake that does do things like tighten up the controls, give modern visual, just shit like that. It doesn't have to be like a Resident Evil 3 remake where the whole fucking thing is different besides that. I don't really think you need to do that. That was something else I was gonna say, and I forgot what it was. So Cindy, you said Sonic Rush was your favorite game. Was your favorite Sonic game because of the music? Have you actually played it? If not, what is your favorite Sonic game of the ones you've played? Oh, you have? Okay. No, I was just curious because you only mentioned soundtrack and you didn't mention anything as far as gameplay. So I kind of figured you only, I kind of figured you only listen to the soundtrack. So hot take, but both Sonic 06 and Sonic Forces need a remaster. Sonic X Shadow Generation. Forces in terms of a truth be told, if you're gonna remake 06, you have to remake Forces too. Forces fundamentally is flawed. And I say that because it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade of the boost formula in every way. The control is worse. You don't have as many abilities. Truthfully, I would also kind of argue some of the aesthetics are worse. Well, not aesthetic. I would say art direction. I would say art direction in Forces is worse. And the story is needs to be. I think, truthfully, I think you just need to throw out Forces story. Because if you really think about it, well, at least to me, Forces just kind of feels like a ripoff of Star Wars. And this is something that a user named Pariah695 really put into perspective for me. It kind of feels like a ripoff of Star Wars. So you have this character that's imprisoned and needs to be saved by this other character. And then a bunch of it takes place in space. This person is captured for a while and needs to be rescued, and then you have this other character that comes in from a completely different world than everybody else. I'm saying classic Sonic is Ben Kenobi, and I'm saying world as in like the former Jedi and shit. Classic Sonic is more of a literal sense. I don't know, shit like that. Then you have like a big ass. Sorry, I fucking song popped up. I was just like really confused on what it was. But like, as I was saying, I just, even if I didn't think it was a rip off, like at least a partial rip off of Star Wars, I just kind of, I don't really see what you could do with Force's story. Really make it salvageable. I genuinely think like you could take the premise of Forces and make something out of it, sure. But I genuinely think you would have to straight up completely remake for. You'd have to completely redo the story to make it like any sort of salvageable. So So for you guys that are still in chat, since we're on the topic of Sonic right now, what what kind of stuff do you want to see in whatever new Sonic game comes out next? And what do you not want to see? It doesn't necessarily, like, what you don't want to see doesn't necessarily have to be anything from a Sonic game. It could just be like something in general, or it can be like something specifically from a different Sonic game. It's just kind of up to you. I just want a good old fashioned 2D Sonic game. Superstars was a flop and a half. I personally quite like Superstars. Shit, I played through it, and the only part of it I can think of that I really didn't fucking like was the final boss. That shit was so unnecessarily annoying. But overall, I like Superstars. I really thought like some of the MO powers were super cool. Like the I forgot what its name is, but like the one where you can clone yourself and shit. That one I thought was super cool. Personally, I kind of think if you're gonna do a 2D Sonic game again, I don't think it should be the mainline Sonic game. Avatar, thank you. Oh god. Stop making me think of forces, damn it. But can I tell you something a little bit embarrassing? Sonic Forces level design took quite a long time to really stick out to me as being really barren until like the 5th time I replayed it. Because I replayed Forces quite a lot. Because I actually owned it for quite a few systems. So I had it for no. I had it for Xbox One first, and I'll always remember this because it was the first Sonic game I actually purchased and bought with my own money. And I remember being really happy about that. So I had it for Xbox One first. Then I had it on Nintendo Switch because I wanted to play it portably. And then I got it for PS4 at some point. And I think that was just because I got the PS4 as a graduation present from my aunt. And then I ended up getting it on PC, so I played it quite a lot. And it was the second time playing it on Switch, and I was playing through Casino Force, and I was like, damn, dude, what the fucking enemies? Why is everything so, like, barren? Like, that's kind of when it hit me, like, all of the levels are like that, or almost all of them are that bland to play. Like, damn, man. I tried to convince myself for so long that this game was good, but this is kind of lame. Like, it's not bad, it's just plain as shit. Oh, don't blame me, blame the game. Blaming you anyway, damn it. I honestly like Chirai 5's take on Force and how he rewrote this. I'd like to see the story remade entirely with the vibe the original was going for, but still leave room for IDW to have. I quite liked Chirai 5's rewrite of Forces as well, like especially. I really like the idea of Tails like straight up going rogue. No, not because I like the idea that he took from Forces where Tails. Because in the Japanese script, I think Tails went missing. He didn't lose it; he just went missing. And Chirai 5 took that to mean that Sonic dying made Tails go rogue, and I like that idea a lot. That's much better than Tails just bitch. Versus music is kind of mid. There's a few outliers which are really good, but overall it's subpar. I think in the classic Sonic stages are especially good. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Forces' OST is on the upper echelon of all Sonic music. I ain't gonna tell you that. But I think the weakest ones generally are the advertised songs. I actually quite like a lot of the classic Sonic songs. Like Green Hill gets kind of ear piercing, but I like Death Egg. I like Death Egg. I like Iron Fortress. I like a lot. I like Iron Fortress. Chemical Plant is also pretty good. Those three in particular, I really like. But Casino Force isn't bad. It's okay, but I don't really think it's bad. Trying to think of. No, there's Ghost Town, which is also alright. It's good, but I generally like the classic Sonic songs. Some of the instrumentation can make him sound super frustrating sometimes. I agree with you, Cindy. The Egg Dragoon, especially no, not the Egg Dragoon. The versus Eggman. The versus Eggman song I thought was good. Like, it kind of sounds clownish, but I think it sounds pretty good. But I think I don't hate the classic Sonic music stages, just the Genesis implementation gives hurt. Reminds me too much of Sonic Force 4 soundtrack. That's another one I think is kinda underrated. I'm not gonna tell you it's, some fantastic shit that you have to listen to now. But I think some of the songs in Sonic 4 as a whole are quite nice, especially when it comes to episode 2. Episode 2, the Metal Sonic boss theme, fantastic. The what the fuck was it? White Park Act 2 music? Great. My favorite track in all of Sonic 4 though is the Death Egg Mark 2 Act 1. That I think is absolutely great. Like fuck this stream, let's go listen to that song instead. Like, that's how much I like that song. But I know I just mentioned like episode 2 tracks. I also think some of the tracks in 1 are pretty okay. Like Splash Hill, all of them are good. The boss theme is a boss theme, I guess. There's a reason it went unused in 3D Blast. But I thought the Lost Labyrinth, I think it was Act 1. Which one? Which one was a banger? Because I'm just now looking at the comments. Can you see the hearts? No, I don't see any hearts at all. Speaking of Sonic 4, should it stay canon, yeah or nay? I can see the harm in it. I mean, what does Sonic 4 really fuck with? Canon. I'm honestly, what even fucking is the canon of Sonic anymore? Like seriously, what is the canon of Sonic? Because so many games, especially in the 2000s, just kind of disregarded what the last game did. Like, for example, Sonic Unleashed completely disregarded what SA1 did, SA2 did, Heroes, fucking Shadow 06. Sonic Unleashed kind of wipes the slate clean. It almost feels like a soft reboot. But even then, going from, for example, going from Shadow the Hedgehog to Sonic Riders. Like, I know it's a spin-off, but it just kind of doesn't really seem like it carries on whatsoever. Nope. Asking like that is like asking for an accurate recap of the Kingdom Hearts series. Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it feels like every Sonic game, like especially in the 2010s, it is a lot too, where it almost feels like you had different developers for every Sonic game. Sonic Generations, almost no fucking story. Even though you could have done brilliant fucking things with the time travel story, where you have two Sonics, two Tails, and two everything. Speaking of Chari 5, I think he. No. It was Garrulous64 who did, I think, a fantastic reimagining of Sonic Generations. But yeah, you have Generations going to Lost World. These two have nothing to fucking do with each other. Like, Lost World really doesn't have shit to do with Generations. And then Forces doesn't really have anything to do with Lost World except using the tubular physics in the One Infinite battle. That's kind of it. That's the only thing I can think of. Besides Beta Sunset Heights using the Lost World skybox. Other than that, I can't really think of anything that Forces carries over from Lost World at all. Where's the Zeddy's? What did they do in Lost World? They're all just like one-note villains that are just there for the sake of it. Honestly, I don't really think the IDW comics do that much to make them image. Personally, I say nay, since the story is incomplete. Episode 1 adds nothing, and Episode 2 slash metal is met. Read it from the timeline. I guess that's fair. I don't really care one way or the other. Like personally, I don't. I do think, you know, what's the harm? But if it was decanonized at any time, I wouldn't be like, oh. I don't care that much. Okay, that's fair. Hey, Zeta gave us the best Sonic line ever uttered. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, in that case, no. I meant, I'm so sorry you've got nothing else better to do in life. Can, Pontac and whatever the fuck. Pontac and Graf were not good writers for Sonic, but that was one solid fucking. I can't deny that at all. Okay, I think you guys have been staring at Laura's boobs for quite a long time, so let's move. Shit. Also, I can say that Mania ultimately replaced. I mean, it does. Shit. Why do you think Sonic 4 wasn't on the fucking elevator in the Mania reveal trailer? Mania definitely replaces Sonic 4, and I'm completely fine with it. Mania is a much better game than 4 ever was. The only thing I can give Sonic 4 is that Episode 2 is quite a good looking game. Not that Mania isn't, but I prefer a 3D game aesthetically to a 2D one. So Sonic 4 style Sonic 4 Episode 2, let me specify, that style appeals a little bit more. Than 11:30 already? Also replaced CD, which made me sad. Also no aiming. Like I said before, I think CD is fucking worse than the classic. So to me, I recently saw a fan art that basically depicts a what if scenario where Eggman has a deadly six under his. What the fuck would Eggman do? Like the only time where Eggman has ever sort of friended anyone that works for him or anything like that is in the IDW comics. And even then, that shit feels out of character. Like Eggman's never been the type to give a fuck about anyone. But fair enough. It is a little like non-canon comic. You found it funny? Fair enough. Good. You know, there's this thing that keeps replaying in my head. I saw it on YouTube Shorts. It was a clip from Sonic Boom. It was an argument with Sonic and Vector, and it was something like, Sonic. I think they're coming back from like a concert or a party or something, and Sonic was like, "The only thing we learned is that the villagers ignore tip jars." And Vector said something like, "I didn't see you coming up with anything, Furball," and then Sonic just goes off. He goes like, "Who you calling Furball, Leatherhead?" And it's the funniest shit, dude. It is the funniest shit. What is with games and making the villain a good parent? Oh, you're talking about Sonic Frontiers. Well, that's an Ian Flynn thing. I do think it is kind of out of character for Eggman to care about any of his creations like that. I do. I don't know. I do kind of like the idea of there being like one singular creation. I do kind of like that, but at the same time, like Eggman has always been like the entire point of him is that he's the worst of humanity. Carelessness, polluting the earth, maniacal egos. Like Eggman is the entire point of him is he's always been the worst of humanity, but oh man, I also like giving him just a shred of depth too. I'd like to see the future of the Sonic series just learning about Robotnik. Oh, no, this doesn't have anything. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree or if I disagree. I kind of feel like we already know a lot about them. We already have three characters from the Robotnik line. The Gerald. I think it would be something cool to explore. How what did who honestly fuck it. Who was Eggman's father? What did Eggman's father think about what his father was doing? What did he think of his son? You know, I'm not really sure if that's something that should be canon, but let's say Sega releases like some shorts that are just like supposed to give you insight into what that situation would be. Something like that would work. It doesn't have to be canon. In fact, I'm not really sure it should. Boy, I have a new fixation, and what would that be? You ever heard of Sam and Max? No. The only Max I can think of that I've heard of is Max and Ruby. Max and Ruby. Do-do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Goofy Sun. I've heard of it. I've heard of him. But that's about it. Like I haven't watched a Goofy movie or anything like that. I'm not really a movie person. I'm more a video game person than I am a movie. Yeah, I wouldn't know about any of that. Like I said, I'm not really a movie watcher, so I wouldn't know anything about. Oh, it's a game. Oh shit. Sorry. My apologies. I uh, I didn't mean. Yeah, that's all I get for fucking things. I get for thinking. I figure since mom's not in the room, I can go ahead and that way it's I don't really need to worry about mom not really being. Man, sometimes I forget how long. But one I recently did it on. There's actually a channel that I've been slightly. I'm not gonna. I don't know if fixated is the right word, but I've been trying to keep up with and watching their stuff, and she goes by the name Snarky J. She's a cosplayer, but I find myself really interested on, for example, like her Star Wars takes and stuff. Like she just released a video celebrating Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Lucasfilm presidency. Shit. And I think finishing up Lara here is definitely going to be a two-part stream. I'll be honest with it, my energy levels are starting to fade a little bit. but I'm very much trying to hold on. So does anyone go to college or anything? Does anyone does anyone like work and stuff like that? If so, how's that stuff going? Oh, Finance at Freddy's, me too. I actually bought Secret of the Mimic while it was on sale from Steam. I haven't played it yet, but I haven't played any of the games that I recently got on Steam. I got fucking Returnal. I played like 5 minutes of Stellar Blade. I actually played a little bit of the Pragmata demo, but I haven't finished it. I would like to though. Alright, I think oh, it sucks. Graduated college one, and congratulations. Oh, you know what? Shit. Uh, if you watched the Ruby's Return at all, what did you think? You might have watched it, you might not have. Oh, it may have lasted. Damn. Oh, I guess this shows you how much. I guess that shows you how well I keep up with everybody. And I tell you, what last year was rough in terms of being able to keep up with people and shit like that. What was yellow just the sheet? Ain't gonna be like hella easy to see. Put on overlays and stuff. So to get a little bit, that's not to make sure nobody else. So, getting a little bit on topic. Has anyone here played a Tomb Raider game? I didn't finish it, but I started playing Tomb Raider 1 Remastered and Tomb Raider 4 Remastered. The Last Revelation. A couple of issues I could have. Oh, damn! I'm sorry to hear that. I'm actually I'm actually looking for a new job. Not that I don't like the job I have, but I kind of want to do something that's a little more creative than just pushing around carts and stuff. I work as a shipper for a hospital factory, a linen factory. I'm not having luck job hunting and making posters. That is so cool. Dude, I would love to do something like that. That sounds fantastic. Oh shit. Well, well. Miss Jessica, how is it going, madam? You and I haven't spoken in a while. Don't feel bad though. I truthfully, there was a lot of people that I haven't really talked to a whole lot lately. It's nothing against anyone. Closest for. Oh, that reminds me. One of the drawings that I do want to do, as I'm working on a series, is this one. So, if you've seen the thumbnail for the Astaria trailer, they organized this photo. I actually wanted to make a 2D version of it. So I have all these layers and shit. I started working on what Catherine's gonna look like, all that. That's one of the things that I want to do, but I'm starting off this series with. It's because this happens to be the one I picked up. Damn it, get. There we go. All I'm trying to do is just push it to the. Everything is okay. Well, I keep trying to call you. Don't. Yes. I don't. Because you try to call me right at the time where I'm trying to go to bed. Usually when you call me, it's at like 11 or like 10:30, and at that point I'm trying to go to sleep. God damn it! You catch me at bedtime, and I got work in the morning. Have y'all seen math movies? I have. The first one, I thought was I don't really remember what I thought of it. The second one I thought it was a movie. I was kind of disappointed a little bit because the animatronics really didn't get to do much. Like whenever they almost fucking killed people, they were shut off. But the instant they got close to killing people, honestly, I thought that would have been like, really cool if they got to kill Lisa. But it's also. Oh, that's fine. That is okay, Jessica. I'm just letting you know, like, just like 10:30 p.m. on a fucking Tuesday. Just it may not always be the best time to try and call me. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you called me at 10 a.m. like on a 10 p.m. on like a Sunday, then sure, I could stay up with you for a while. I don't have work the next day. But I'm sure that doesn't align with your schedule either. Yeah, I'm streaming now because I'm trying to do a bit of a better job of keeping up with this YouTube. And actually, get my subscribers up there. Maybe one day I can fucking leave any job I'm at and just keep with YouTube. No, I totally understand. I just wanted to say hello. We can chat more in DMs. How long? I understand, man. My shit wasn't long, but it sure as fuck felt long, and I did a lot of shit. So I'm probably gonna be dead. I'll see you later. The puppet possessing people in movie 2 was really cool, but also hella creepy. Well, that's the point. But yeah, I thought it was cool too. Honestly, I thought it would have been. It kind of makes you wonder though, why didn't the puppet possess Vanessa? Like the puppet possesses the one like podcaster, reporter, whatever the fuck they were, streamer. I don't remember what exactly they were. But the puppet possesses her, and then possesses Abby at the end. Never possessed Vanessa when it had the chance. I thought it was really odd. Oh, speaking of Tomb Raider, I'm gonna take a slight break. Want to see something real quick? I just got it yesterday. I got like 4 of these, but I think this is really cool. is a display. So this game hasn't actually came out yet, but I thought this art looked really cool. So I decided to put it on the wall of the computer room. Yeah, this is a computer room. This isn't actually my room. My room is the next door over. Oh, she does possess Vanessa? Oh fuck, man. See, that's how little of an impression this movie left on me. I watched it like a fucking month ago, and I've already forgotten so much about it. Like, I think sometimes places like Rotten Tomatoes are just like their ratings for movies are absolute just bullshit. But for FNAF 2, I think the rating is spot on. Like, I don't know. I would be a little bit more charitable to it and say that it was a movie rather than it was just like complete and utter like dog. But I definitely wouldn't put it very high. Vanessa's probably gonna start off as an antagonist. And you know what? I thought that too. She definitely didn't deserve what happened to her. She spent the whole fucking movie, the entire goddamn movie, helping Mike and Abby as much as she possibly fucking could, because she, kind of had feelings for the guy. And he decides, fuck you, I'll see you later. Like, come on, man. She tried her damn hardest. Now, if she ends up sticking the animatronics on you next movie, you fully deserve it. I'm not saying I'm not saying you had to link up with her or anything like that. But like, come on, dude. You could have cut her a bit of slack. About it, because if the lighting is coming from this direction, and actually I should have much more of this in shadow. One thing I really like about the FNAF 2 movie though is um is that they went back and explored. That I thought was done pretty well. And I really liked like the house scene with Vanessa, in her mind, killing her father and shit like that, but he still will always have a certain level of control over her. I thought that was really cool. That was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. No doubt. And it was also kind of cool getting our first taste of Henry Emily too. It wasn't a lot, and like I didn't even realize it was him at first. But Skeet Ulrich's character, yeah, that's Henry. If anything, wait, he or she? Because you said initially I disliked that Michael off. He's still deeply under Afton's manipulation. You mean she as in Vanessa? Or he is in Afton under his own control? Also, where the hell did you go, Cindy? You leave me? If so, fair enough. Oh, Michael. Okay. I wasn't sure because like you didn't say anything about like you didn't say like Michael by name or anything like that. I thought you were still talking about Vanessa. Oh yeah, that is right. The other security guard. Yay. Oh, for sure. William definitely did. Like it very much feels to me like he was trying to do the same thing to both of them. It just so happens that since William and Vanessa are two different people, they simply both took it different ways. He was more receptive to it than she was. She's trying to be normal, but being raised under Afton, do you really have a good sense of what normal even is? But man, am I glad that they got fucking Matthew Lillard to play Afton though. He is so fantastic in the role. I think I'm gonna finish his dark shading and then we're gonna end this. I have the rest of this leg to do. I find it so funny that Mrs. Afton's debut in a series photos you're facing the camera. That's the whole fucking point. You're not supposed to see her identity, which is absolute. I hate it when movies do stuff like that. I really do. I find it so annoying when movies like they don't want you to. Oh, we want to keep her. We want to keep her identity shrouded in mystery, so she'll be facing the camera. It'll be out of focus. Like, don't even have that kind of shot then. You can just imply that she exists with a different method. Looks like Cindy did indeed leave. Fine. I'm sure I'll see her again. I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I might. I'm thinking it, but don't take that as a guarantee. Life always has its way of just screwing with your plans in the most annoying ways possible. So, do you want to switch to RJ? Or if not, do you want to own one? You have a Switch. Now that's a surprise. I'm genuinely surprised you don't have a Switch 1. Personally, these days, if you're gonna get a Switch 1, honestly, or a Switch 2, either one, I would see what your Facebook Marketplace is going. Truthfully, that's where you're gonna find the best deal, and you can make sure you test it when you get there and everything. Make sure everything works. I would do. I am genuinely surprised to see you though, RJ. Like, it's been absolutely forever since I've seen you, and all of a sudden here you are popping up in the stream. It is super nice to see you though. Might look for one eventually, but again, I'm not. Well, anyway, I'm about to shower and wind down for bed, so I'll be signing off. But for now, that's all for now. I'm actually about to wind down stream in a moment too, since I'm finishing up this boot. I leave. I have a question. Is your server still active or not? Well, okay. So this is actually what happened with the. So truthfully, not only is it not active, but I actually completely nuked the server. Like, the Discord server is no longer a thing. And the reason for that, just because truthfully, it was dead. It was dead for months. And I didn't really see a reason to keep it around if it wasn't serving a purpose. All it was really doing was just clogging up my Discord interface. I didn't see a reason to have it, so it was taken out back. It was given the old yellow treatment. Alright, so I think I've got all the dark shading done. Okay, so next time we meet, hopefully tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow, but I can't guarantee it. But the next time we meet, I will do the light shading for Lara, do the plus shading, and any final layers of shading. We'll finish this one up, and we'll get started another one. If we get started on, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to whomever happens to be. So, for now, I appreciate anyone and everyone who tuned